Now, one of my favorite effects from The Art of Astonishment is Paul Harris's Mondo Nifty Invisible Palm. It's Paul's take, along with contributions from many other magicians, on the classic Marlowe Jennings Open Traveler's plot. And this has become somewhat of a signature effect of mine when I perform close-up. It's an honor to be able to present this here for you, so first let's take a look at it in a live performance. Check it out. Thank you. Thank you. How many of you play poker?
From time to time.
A little bit? What about you?
I haven't played recently, but...
Haven't played recently. There are a handful of magicians throughout the world who are not allowed into casinos. And there's a very specific reason, because magicians know how to cheat. And one of the best ways, and one of my favorite ways to cheat when you're playing cards, is something called the invisible palm. Have you guys heard about that at all? Have you guys heard of palming cards? Mm-hmm. You've heard of it?
You hold it in your hand?
Yes, yeah. It's a technique of hiding a card. So theoretically, I could hide an ace and bring it into my hand whenever I wanted to. We're going to try something with a couple of cards. I'm going to show you my favorite way. 1, 2, 3, 4. My favorite way to palm a card. We have 4 cards here. You don't have to remember what the cards are. That doesn't matter. Most often, when somebody plays poker or when they're doing magic, people, and you hear this all the time, people say that the cards go up the sleeve. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You've heard that? Yeah. People literally think that I have a wire system. I've had people say this, even when I'm wearing short sleeves. I have a wire system that will pull one of these cards up my sleeve, across my jacket, down my other sleeve, and deliver it to my hand.
Jesus Christ.
Whenever I want it.
I was looking at his palm the whole time too. We were watching.
That's called misdirection. I cheated a little bit. I was pointing at my sleeves. I was talking about the wires. What I really did was I palmed the card using the invisible palm. Now the invisible palm is it's pretty sneaky. There's a couple of different ways to palm a card, to hide a card in your hand. Some of you may have seen this before. Have you seen that? You have. You've seen that, right? You've seen that? That is where you palm the card behind your hand. Okay? Now, there's another technique, which is just like the straight palm, the standard palm. It starts off in front like this. And this is actually pretty difficult to do. And the reason why it's difficult is because depending on how far your fingers are spread or how big your hands are, you can flash the corner. It can stick out. And that completely ruins it. That's why it's very difficult to do the regular palm. Whereas the invisible palm starts off in much the same way. However, from this position, you take it and you squeeze it into what's called the invisible palm. Now, it looks pretty fair. It looks like I can show both sides of my hand. Feel my hand. Feel the palm. You feel that?
Yeah.
Because anytime I want to, all I have to do is bring it down, and if I just squeeze just a little bit, pops out.
What?
This is why this is so dangerous. Now, with the last card, the King of Clubs will do it a little bit differently. All right, I've been using 2 hands to get the cards into position. All right, I'm going to try to do this with one hand up off the table, because one-handed, you're a lot freer. If I had the deck sitting on the table, I could just reach my hand over and take it off with one hand. It's a lot harder to do, but it looks cooler. Okay? So the concept when you're doing it one-handed is a little bit different. Instead of using 2 hands to get it into position, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press with my hand like this. And if I press, I can kind of get it to stick a little bit. Oops. It helps if you're on like a flatter surface, like if it's an actual poker table that you're doing it on. But if I press, hopefully I can get the king to stick. And from here, just a quick move, and it's in the invisible palm. Feel it. Pull my sleeve up. He's looking at my sleeve. Look at my sleeve. Pull my sleeve all the way. Pull it up. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. Look, because whenever I want to, all I have to do is come down here and press and squeeze, and hopefully, oops, hold on. There's the king.
Oh, I gotta make a drink. Dude, seriously.
And that is the invisible palm.
Cheers to you.
That is why they don't let us into casinos. the drums.
I knew it was going to be that way already. I don't even have words, man. He's got quick hands.
Wait, how? Did you do that?
Yeah.